You're getting closer to retirement and the market drops. Of course, that's going to make you feel uneasy. You spent decades just saving to get to this point, and now you're watching your retirement savings drop in value. So you might be wondering, what changes should you make? Should you move to cash? What actions should you be taking with your accounts as you watch your retirement savings drop in value and you're getting day by day closer to your retirement date? Well, on today's Max Retirement Show, I'm going to draw out some simple and practical strategies that you can utilize during a market downturn that can actually help your retirement plan instead of hurting it. And our third strategy that could potentially save you hundreds or hundreds of thousands of dollars. From there, we're going to discuss our retirement chart of the week, where we're going to discuss where 50%, history has shown us 50% of the best days have happened in the market. And so that becomes very good knowledge to have, especially during a market downturn. Then we're going to wrap up with our listener question about Roth alternatives. Let's just say that you make too much money to put money into a Roth IRA. Well, does that mean the quest for tax-free growth is over? Not necessarily. There are alternatives that can still provide you tax advantages for your future. For those that are new to the channel, my name's Scott Sierens. I'm a certified financial planner. We have a retirement planning and investment management firm where our focus is to help people retire and maximize their retirement story. Now, when the market is down, as I had mentioned, it can make you feel pretty uneasy. Emotions can rise. Now, we want to focus on strategies that can help our plan during these high emotions versus letting emotions potentially hurt our plan. And the first strategy that I want to talk about is rebalancing our account. Now, sounds like a pretty simple strategy, and it is a very simple strategy, but it just needs to be implemented. What do I mean by rebalancing our account? Well, most likely when you put together your investment portfolio, you put together some sort of mix. Now, you might be 100% in equities, but even within that portfolio, you might be so much in US equities and so much in international equities. Or as you're getting closer to retirement, you might have a mix of equities and fixed income. You might be 70% equities, 30% fixed income, 60-40, 50-50. Whatever you have chosen, whatever's right for your plan, that's what's bringing balance to your account. Now, when the market is down, we might see part of what we own go down in value. So we might see a decline, for instance, in the equities. And so we see it go down in value. However, we might be seeing an increase in our fixed income. So the market being down, if you think about the seesaw here, it kind of starts to create some imbalance on a plan that we already had balance to. Now, even though the market's down, it actually creates opportunity. Here's what I mean. Those that have increased in value, well, now they might be overweight on our portfolio seesaw. And so we can take, while something is high and overweight, we can sell it while it's high, and we can use that to buy something while it's low and utilize that to get us back in balance. That's rebalancing the portfolio. This is something that we look for our clients in down markets and on a quarterly basis. We're not trying to outsmart the market with this sort of technique. What we're just trying to do is take advantage of what the market has currently provided us. And this brings our investments back in line with the plan. So this allows you to help stay more steady and balanced when the market is not. So a lot of times in a down market, people freeze. They stop everything because of the uncertainty and the emotions that kick in. Today, I want to walk you through a very simple drawing to help you understand and to show you, especially if you're a few years away from retirement, why it is actually a good time to implement strategy number 2, which is increasing the contributions to your retirement plans, your 401ks, 403bs, 457s. Seems counterintuitive, but after we get through the drawing, I think you might want to rethink and utilize strategy number 2. So the market was doing well, and now it's gone down. You have to ask yourself, where do you see the market being in 3, 4, or 5 years from today? Do you see it being up here, which is higher? Well, if so, and if you've got your next 1 to 3 years of income and income needs carved off into safer assets, I want you to think about something. You were contributing to your accounts before the market went down. You are still contributing to your accounts right here. You think and feel that the market is going to be higher in the future than where it was before. And so then wouldn't now actually be a really good time to then put more into the market because it's on sale from where it used to be, and it's on sale from where you think that it might be in the future. So I would say it's actually a better time not only to keep your contributions, but to potentially increase your contributions into those 401ks, 403bs, IRAs, Roth 401ks, or Roth IRAs, especially if you think it's going to be higher in the future than where it's at today. Now, is it going to go straight there? We don't know. Could it go down first? Certainly could. Most likely, you're going to see a whole lot of ups and downs that are going to get you to that point. But again, if you do have that next 1 to 3 years of income needs carved off, now's a great chance, especially if you're a few years away from your retirement and you have the ability to increase those contributions. It's going to give you an extra boost as you go into retirement. Now, before we dive into the third strategy, which is the one that can potentially save you some money as you implement it during a market downturn, if you're enjoying this show today and you'd like to hear more about other retirement strategies, other helpful tax strategies, don't forget to subscribe to our channel so that way you get notified as we're coming out with new videos each and every week. Now, the third strategy to consider during a market downturn would be a Roth conversion. Let me just use a simple drawing here to explain how this could potentially help you save hundreds or hundreds of thousands of dollars on future taxes. So let's just say, and I'm just using easy numbers today. You might have $1 million or $2 million or $3 million, but let's just say in an IRA, you've got $100,000. And because of the market downturn, that $100,000 has dropped to $70,000. And you're saying, you know what, I'm going to wait this out and I'm going to wait for the market to come back up. I'm not going to let the emotions of a market downturn get to me. And so that $70,000 does bounce back up in the future to $100,000 or potentially even more. Well, since it was in an IRA to begin with, you haven't paid any taxes on that money. So at first you owed taxes on $100,000. When it dropped to $70,000, you owed taxes on $70,000. You said you're going to wait for it to come back up. You owe taxes on all $100,000 when it comes back up. But what if instead, when the market was down to $70,000, you decided to convert that IRA over to a Roth IRA? Now, when you do that, right, you have to pay tax during this conversion here. But now you've taken the $70,000 while the market's down, you've converted it over to a Roth IRA, and all of the growth here that you're getting is now tax-free growth. So where before you would have owed the tax on all $100,000, now all of that growth from the 70 to the 100 or even beyond that is all tax-free growth. So you can see here, taking advantage of a down market, you can take advantage of a down market by potentially converting some funds from your IRA to a Roth IRA. So when the market does bounce back up, that way that growth in your account is tax-free growth. Now, this doesn't necessarily work for everyone. It depends on your income, your tax bracket, and your long-term plan. So it's always a good thing to run the numbers beforehand to see if this is a potential fit for you. The market's always going to go up and down. That's just how it works. Now, when you're getting closer to retirement, that's a key reason why you want to focus on the strategies that we just discussed versus focusing on emotions. But I understand, large drops in your account values can lead to some pretty large emotions, sometimes fear, uncertainty, worry. And then those large emotions can potentially lead to bad decisions like breaking the plan and making some large shifts in the balances of your accounts, or worse yet, potentially selling and moving everything to cash. And so today I wanted to go over a very simple and powerful chart that can help you understand that the problem could also be missing the good. The problem with making those bad decisions could also be that you're going to miss some of the good days in the market as well. And that could really cost you when it comes to returns or potential returns on your accounts. So take a look at the chart here. It goes from 1995 to 2024. We're going to look at the right-hand side. What happens if you missed the market's best days between those years? And if you had $10,000 invested, well, $10,000 invested, you stayed fully invested for all those years, grows to over $224,000. But let's just say you missed the 10 best days during those years. Well, instead of $224,000, it's a 54% less return at $102,000. Let's say you missed the 20 best days during those years. Then it's a $60,000 return, or $60,000 total, 73% less return, and miss the 30 best days. You're looking at an 83% less return than if you would have stayed fully invested. So, when do these good days happen? Well, that leads us to the left-hand side of the chart, and it might not be. It's probably not when you most expected, and you can see here, out of the 50 best days from 1995 to 2024, 50% of those best days actually happened during the bear market. During that time when your values of your account were down, you're hearing all the news and the media is saying, hey, the stock market's down, oh my gosh, it's going to continue to crash, or something's going on. Those best days that help with that long-term return, looks like during that time period, 50% of those best days actually happened during the market downturn. Another 28% happened right after, right? So when that bull market started, and then only 22% during the rest of the bull market. So if you said, well, I'm going to sell out to cash and get everything back in when everything's doing really well, according to this chart here, you'd most likely miss somewhere around 78% of the good days in the market that are going to potentially help you with your long-term returns. So what's my point here? Well, my point is to have a plan, not a prediction. And you see, kind of look at it like the weather. The market's very similar to the weather. We can't predict when the sun's going to come out and when it's going to be a great day. So if you got up in the morning, opened up the blinds, and you said, oh, it's raining right now, it's sprinkling a little bit, and you decided to shut all the blinds, keep the doors closed, and stay in your house, who knows? It could have cleared up. The sun might have came out, and it might have been the best day ever. The same holds true for the market. Just because what's going on at one little point in time, things can quickly shift and quickly change. So being fully invested, according to the chart here, is what's going to help you towards those long-term returns. So have a plan, not a prediction. I found strategy is what helps our clients stick to their plan. Now, those charts were from Hartford Funds, and I'm going to link to them below in the show notes. So let's wrap up with our listener question of the week from Rebecca. Rebecca says, I make too much to contribute to a Roth IRA. Is there anywhere else I can invest to give myself some tax advantages in the future? Great question. And the answer, yeah, there are plenty of tax advantaged accounts, just need to know what they are or how to utilize them. And they might operate similar or different than the Roth IRA. First off, what's Rebecca talking about here? Why can't everybody just put into a Roth IRA? There are actually earnings limits where if you make too much money, then you're not able to contribute to an IRA, or as Rebecca is saying, if you make too much, you're not able to contribute to a Roth IRA. So what's the next best steps? Well, first, I find a lot of people that say they can't contribute to a Roth IRA. Well, when we look at their company-sponsored retirement plan, they're not even maxing that out. So Rebecca, the first thing I'm going to say is, are you maxing out your company-sponsored retirement plan? Do you have a Roth 401k there? And if so, are you putting in the max that you can? Okay, if the answer is yes, now are you age 50 plus? And if you're age 50 plus, are you making the catch-up contributions to that Roth 401k? If you're looking for pure Roth, that would be a great way to go, especially if you're making too much for a Roth IRA. There are no earnings limits to that Roth 401k to be able to make the contributions there. Okay, next, what's another good alternative? Do you have an HSA, health savings account? I get it. It's going to be a little bit different than the Roth IRA because you have to use it for qualified medical expenses, but gosh, it's a great account. You get a tax deduction, grows tax-free, and as long as you're using it for qualified medical expenses, you can utilize it tax-free as well. After that, have you looked at the backdoor Roth IRA? Now, if you have an IRA, wow, talk to your tax professional, talk to a financial professional because it might not work the way that you're hoping so, but backdoor Roth IRA may be an opportunity for you. Or again, back to your 401k or your Roth 401k, have you considered the mega backdoor option? That's a way to get money. Utilize your 401k to get more money into the Roth. And so let's just say you're maxing out your Roth 401k, you're maxing out your HSA, you're utilizing all of the backdoor options, or maybe they're not available to you. Again, talk to a tax professional, financial professional specifically on those because there's some critical points to know. Then after that, maybe you want to go to a brokerage account, invest in and hold equities because when you hold and not sell, now you're deferring the taxes on those gains until you do sell, at which point in time you're looking at capital gains tax. As long as you've held those equities for longer than a year, you're looking at long-term capital gains, which could be at 0%, 15%, or 20%, all depending on your tax bracket. So back to Rebecca's main question, are there other types of accounts that could give you tax advantages for your future? Absolutely. Just have to know and understand the accounts, talk to a financial professional, and if you're utilizing them properly, they can help give you tax advantages for your future. Hey, I hope that you found that question, as well as today's entire episode, to be of value and benefit. And if so, don't forget to subscribe so that way you get notified as we're coming out each and every week with a new show on retirement strategies, tax strategies, Social Security strategies, income strategies, all to help you with your retirement and help you maximize your retirement story.